Hi everybody, welcome back to Echo. This is actually the second take I'm doing of this particular recording session. I didn't like how my first take was going. But anyway, last time we left off, Chase and the gang went up to Lake Emma to hang out some. But some stuff happened, to put it mildly. And in the fallout of that event, we find ourselves in Leo's route proper. So let's get started with that. On day 4. Peyton Mall is tiny compared to the one in Pueblo where I go to school. It's only got one floor and maybe 20 stores. Still, it wasn't a bad place to hang out back when I was in high school. Mostly because I had a movie theater. So where do you guys want to go first? First? We only need to go to one. You sure? I mean, maybe we should help him branch out? He knows what he likes, it's fine. Well, alright. Lasers it is. It's one of those kinds of stores where it looks like a radioactive clown jizzed on everything. Ha! Well, there is a lot of weird porn here. Think Carl would like that? I'm not really sure what Carl's into when it comes to that. I think he likes the paws, honestly. Why don't I just box up my foot and put a bow on it then? Porn? Really? Let's just stick to comic books. We both look at him. Everything okay, Tej? TJ's been in a bit of a mood ever since he woke up this morning. He didn't talk the whole drive here, instead just browsing through stuff on his phone. He's just salty that he isn't roasting on the trail right now. No, this is fine. I'm fine, guys. TJ smiles to show us how fine he is. Yeah, sure. Well, Leo's driving us up halfway after this, so you're still going to get yourself barbecue. You don't have to go if you don't want. I don't know if it would be very fun if you were upset the whole time. At this point, Leo turns to me, smiling. You going with them? In this fur? On these legs? I lift a foot for him. No, it's over 90 degrees today. Yeah, let's leave it to the land mammals. So, Leo claps his paws together loudly. Let's split up and pick something out. I think it'll be fine if we keep it under 20 bucks. As everyone wanders off, I look around. I'm not sure what I should get him. He doesn't get excited about much unless one of his comic books is being turned into a movie. Let's go with the top option. If you want to see the other outcome, you'll just have to read this for yourself. Jenna's already looking at the comic book section, so I decided to try my luck there. Find anything? Not yet. I'm debating whether or not to get him a manga. Yeah? I don't think I've ever seen him reading one of those. Yeah, he thinks anything that isn't from the West is inferior to his precious comics. I look over the selection, most of which happens to be manga. The eyes are kinda weird looking. Not all of them. Besides, it's the stories I like. It's not all superheroes and powers, you know? I guess, though I think every anime I've seen deals with some kind of demon trapped in some kid. Hey, that's the pop shonen crap. You have to look for the good stuff. Well, I guess that's true with everything, right? As I'm glancing over the covers, I'm noticing a pattern of schoolgirls with big boobs. It is kind of weird that Jenna would be into this stuff. Anyway, I'm sure if you get in something good, it could expand his horizons on comics. If you can really call that expanding. I move back over toward the comics and look around, but I can't make out what any of it means. Carl's so damn knowledgeable about comic books, I'm sure he already has everything that he wants. I wander off toward the opposite wall where all the posters are. Leo's standing there, looking over the display board. I stand next to him. You know, I think every inch of his wall is covered. I don't know if there's any more room. Has he put anything on the ceiling? I don't think so. And then there's room. Well, alright. I guess I'll get him Luce. I don't think he's got one of him. I look over at the masked wolf, his arms crossed, bare chest and abs stuck out on full display. I waggle my brows. Sure, that's why you want him. Leo grins down at me. Oh yeah? Sorry, but he's not my type. I like my guys a bit more, supple. His tail slaps my ass. Well, I like him. I love muscles. Leo squares his shoulders and flexes. His biceps bulge to nearly the size of my head. Like these? I feign indifference, shrugging. I'm more into the cut look, like Luce. Leo frowns, but I take that moment to slap him in the butt with my tail. Because it's not as flexible as his, I have to turn my body into it, and it practically thuds into his ass. Leo yelps and stumbles forward into the posters with a loud clatter. Whoa, calm down, boys. Jenna walks up behind us and stands next to me, her arms folded over a manga with a doe in a schoolgirl uniform on the front. That looks sexy, Jenna. Good pick. Jenna rolls her eyes as Leo reaches into the poster bin with Luce in it. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have this one. TJ follows up behind Jenna, a small figurine Trinity weasel in his paws. I laugh. And of course you get that, TJ. Hey, it was a good price, and the... He's kidding, TJ. Anyway, maybe it'll help him take another look at that movie. It really is good. I realize that I'm the only one who hasn't picked out a gift, and I look around anxiously. Right in front of me is a rack of beanie caps. One of them has a bloodied and decaying zombie face printed on it, its teeth bared on the brim. I assume it's to make the wearer look like their head is clamped inside. I think Carl likes zombies? I snatch it off the rack and hurry up to the front with the others. How does it look? I ask TJ as we're walking through the parking lot. It looks good, I guess? No, I mean, does it look like a zombie badger is eating my head? Oh, yeah, it looks great. He gives me a thumbs up. Ah. I pull it down over my face, slowly. How do you think we'd all do in a zombie attack? I lift the hat back up over my forehead. Like, who would die first? My eyes fall involuntarily on TJ. Me? Why do you think that? Well, maybe not. You are pretty fast. I just kind of imagine you just curling up in a ball. But honestly, I'd be the first to go. I stick out a leg. Look at how stubby these are. I'm the fastest and I'd carry you. You wouldn't have to worry. Oh, really? I look over at Jenna and see that she's got that gleam in her eyes that always puts me on edge. Pretty sure I'm faster than you, Leo. Leo smirks. Pretty sure my legs are way longer and way faster than yours, Jenna. Jenna sticks out her bag with the manga in it at me. I take it slowly, trying to catch her eyes so I can shake my head frantically at her. Leo sticks his bag out at TJ, almost punching him in the nose. TJ jumps and gingerly takes it from him, frowning. This is a parking lot, guys. Are you sure it's a good idea? But Jenna and Leo have already taken up their positions side by side, leaning forward. Alright, to that lamppost. Heh, you're on. Count us off, Chase. How is this proving anything? Don't you need to be carrying Chase? Alright, ready, set, go! Leo actually gets a bit of a head start since he anticipated the go, but Jenna catches up right away. In fact, she's 10 feet ahead of him just 5 seconds into the race. I can hear her laughing as she gracefully speeds ahead, her tail whipping around like a flag as she zips off towards the horizon. Leo, realizing he's going to lose, is frantically flailing his arms around, his ears and head down as he charges forward. I'm actually surprised by how bad he's losing. I mean, he used to play football back in high school, so he's had some training. With his head down, I guess he doesn't see the curb right in front of him, and his foot clips it as he passes. I hear the yelp, then see him careen off to the side, then roll on the asphalt before slamming up against the tire of a parked car. TJ gasps and covers his eyes. Oh my gosh! I'm already running up to where Leo's fallen. He's sitting up against the tire, one paw to his head as he grits his teeth in pain. Are you alright? Jesus, you hit that hard. I kneel down next to him, and the second he sees me, he grins and quickly scrambles up, brushing his paws. I'm fine. Just tripped a bit. I can see spots on his paw pads that are skinned and bleeding, and I wince. Jesus Christ, Leo, that wasn't just a bit. Jenna, having noticed that her competition had eaten shit, jogs back to us, her paws on her hips as she breathes heavily. Wow, you okay, Leo? I'm fine. Want to try that again? The stupid curb got in the way. Nope, you're banged up enough as it is. You're fucking bleeding everywhere. I should probably drive. I'm fine, Chase. Leo rolls his eyes to show me how much he doesn't care, but I can see that the insides of his ears are bright red. There's a bit of an awkward silence, only punctuated by Leo and Jenna's breathing. Finally, Jenna walks up next to me and puts her paw around my shoulders. Well, Now you know who you're more likely to survive with in a zombie apocalypse, Chase. Remember it. She leans her head up against my shoulder, and I cringe as I see Leo's smile turn icy. Alright, cool. Let's get going. I wiggle out from under her arm. You guys need to get to your hike. The drive back is only a little awkward. To her credit, Jenna does try to apologize to Leo, but he just waves it off like it isn't a big deal. I can tell by how he's overdoing the cheerfulness that that's not the case. We drop TJ and Jenna off halfway up the trail, which happens to be right next to the highway. Once we're alone in the car, Leo starts messing around with the CD player. You might remember this. As the music fills the car, I'm immediately transported back to my high school days. Jesus, is this the carpet stains? Oh, there was no "the" in that sentence, my bad. Yep. Leo's grinning at me, occasionally glancing towards the road. This was a band we listened to together in my junior and senior year. You still into this stuff? The music carries a lot of memories for me, and the fact that I hadn't listened to it since I last been in this town made it all the more powerful. Sure, the music is simple, the lyrics embarrassing, but I miss it. Maybe. I think I could be if I listened to it again. Heh, me too. As we drive, I mouth the lyrics under my breath. You haunt everything in my life. I see you in the clouds and the sky is so blue. I see your outline on my screen door, too. Finally, we pull up to Leo's old ranch-style house. It looks the same as it always has, though the landscaping has definitely taken a turn for the worse. Leo parks and we both get out. I'm busy staring at the driveway, thinking about all the times I've walked across it, when a gravelly voice pulls me from my reverie. Hey, who are you? I jump and look to the right, spotting a thin and angry-looking raccoon. He's standing next to some bushes, trimming them up. His yard is desert landscaped and looks pretty good next to Leo's property, which is nothing but weeds and sagebrush. Behind the raccoon is an old and rusty-looking trailer home. Thinking back, I'm pretty sure that a really old mouse used to live here, but this guy's a raccoon. And looks pretty young, too. I hear Leo walking quickly around the front of his truck to stand next to me. Hey, Cud, this is Chase. Remember I was telling you about him? Leo puts his arm around me. Cud's demeanor changes immediately when he sees Leo. Oh, hey, Leo. This is him, then? Cud? My voice is just incredulous enough to be offensive, and the raccoon notices. His already scowling face gets even more scrunched up. I'm not exactly from around here. Oh, really? No. We stand there for a few seconds, then Leo grabs my arm. Alright, glad you two could meet. We're actually in a bit of a hurry, got a party to plan for. The raccoon watches us all the way to the door before Leo finally closes it behind him. Really, Chase? What? It's a weird name. I sniff. But instead of the scented candle smell I thought I'd get, I'm instead met with the acrid smell of cigarette smoke. It doesn't look the same either. It's all a bit empty compared to when I was last here. It makes sense, I guess, with Leo's parents and siblings gone. I tell him what a great guy you are for the past 2 years, and that's his first impression of you. Well, I'm sorry. What happened to that old mouse guy? Charlie? He died a few months after you left. Cud moved in a few years ago. Oh. Well, he seems a little grumpy. He is, but he's a good guy. Been through a lot. Leo sets the bags down on the kitchen table, pulling out the cake and gifts. So why'd he move here? Said he likes the isolation. He works in Peyton. Some things happened in the city and he wanted to get away. Leo ruffles through the plastic cups and gifts. I forget what country he's originally from. His full name's Kudzu. How old's TJ again? I think he's 20, but he doesn't drink anyway, if that's what you're wondering. I don't know. People change a lot in a few years. Anyway, let's go to my room. Gotta message Carl. Leo's room is small, but cozy. A little cluttered, but clean enough. I walk over to sit on his bed, looking around at all the posters, most of them related to football or hip-hop moguls. He's had most of these since high school. Got the same room, huh? Your parents' room is bigger, isn't it? Yeah, well, I'm used to it being here. Would be kind of weird hanging out in my parents' room anyway. Besides, he plops down next to me, bouncing me up and down on the bed. I don't really need the space. So what do you do around here? It feels kind of empty. I'm really only here to sleep, otherwise I'm on the computer. You know, porn. He looks at me and grins. I look over at his computer. It's got a nice chair, and I can guess what the box of tissues next to the monitor is for, but that's not what holds my attention. Instead, I see 3 holes punched right through the drywall. Around those are several more, less successful dents in the wall, some with knuckle-shaped features. Holy shit. Leo's ears fall flat and he lets out an embarrassed laugh. Yeesh, yeah, that's my fault. I really get into my games. I stand up and walk towards the wall, examining the damage. Leo stands up too, clearly uncomfortable. That was a few years ago though. I don't play that game anymore. Damn, Leo, you're fucking crazy. I poke a finger through one of the holes, realizing that punching through the wall with one try wasn't anything to sneeze at. And strong. So you still got that temper of yours. I don't! It was just that one game. He's got his paw on his hips, glaring down at me. I mean, what if I was standing here? What would that have done to my face? I put my face in front of one of the holes for effect. Leo blanches like I had slapped him. Hey, don't talk like that, I would never! I know. Sorry. It's just funny how angry you get sometimes. I mean, your phone looks pretty new. When's the last time you broke one? Well, okay, the damn thing wasn't loading right, and... He frowns. Why am I being interrogated right now? Hey, you want me to live here? I think I have a right to be concerned about my personal property. I only broke your phone once. I spread my paws out. More than I've broken anyone else's phone. Yeah, well, I've never pretended that I cheated on someone as a joke. My attitude cools a little. Yeah, well, high school. You know? I know. Anyway, it's nice to have you here again. He reaches out and pulls me to a one-armed hug. When I pull back, though, I notice a cut on the side of his arm, a few more on the back of his paw as well. At this point, the fur is clumped together with coagulated blood. Man, you really wiped out. He looks at his arm. Oh, yeah, I should clean up. Hey, get on my comp while I'm gone and see if Carl's online. Leo talks to me as he's walking out the door into the hallway. I should be logged on. Ask him what he's doing tomorrow. We need to plan this out right. Okay. I sit down in the chair and wake the computer up. Sure enough, Leo's already logged into his account. I look at his friends list, seeing that Carl is idle. I send him the message anyway, then lean back in the chair, almost freaking out as it leans back way further than I thought it would. Must be all those jerk-off sessions Leo's had. I drum my paws against the desk for a bit, then look back towards the door. Leo's probably gonna be a while. And I am curious. I grin as I first check out his bookmarks. Social media litters the first few slots, then there's one called Mech Forums and another called Mechanics United. Then, of course, there are a few sports and football-specific sites. Finally, I get to one called Gay Viddies, then another called Otter Sluts. I snort loudly at that one. I click on the History tab next. I scroll through it for a while, the first 50 or so relating to some DJ or hip-hop artist. Finally, I see the word cock and know that I'm looking at one of Leo's porn sessions. It's pretty standard stuff. Ass, balls, making out, blowjobs. But that's when I start seeing a pattern. Gay otters, otter asses male, male otters, tail up, gay blowjob otters. I raise my brows and click on the search bar for the history, typing in otter before hitting enter. The results spill down the window. The scroll bar is small enough that I have trouble clicking on it to pull it down. Was Leo only into me because he had an otter fetish? I start to feel a little depressed as I scroll through the results, and that's when I notice another pattern. At least half of the results have wolf in the search phrase. And not just that. Wolf otter gay blowjob, otter wolf gay couple kiss, otter wolf gay cuddling. The nape of my neck prickles as I scroll down the hundreds of results. But that's when I hear the door open in the hallway. I jump, first covering the screen with my paws like an idiot, and then quickly Xing out of the window. Except that doesn't work. The sheer amount of results I get from Leo's shame must have fucked up the CPU somehow. Desperately, I bang the mouse against the desk as I hear Leo's heavy footsteps down the hallway. I swear there's a cut on my back, but I can't reach it. Fuck. I mutter under my breath, heart pounding in my chest. It's just like 7 years ago when my mom caught me looking at gay porn. Leo walks in, the computer screen still hopelessly frozen. Can you help me get... Leo stops mid-sentence as I look back at him. The guilt on my face pretty damn obvious. What did you do? You know what? I try to stall and turn back to the screen, clicking furiously on the X. Hey. And just as he's walking up behind me, the window disappears. Wait a second, what were you looking at? I swivel around in the chair, grinning. Nothing. My voice squeaks. Leo stares down at me, an exasperated smirk spreading across his muzzle. No, not nothing. What the hell were you looking at? Is there something I don't know about? He keeps on staring at me, but I get up and pretend to stretch, moving towards the bed. Well, yeah, there's something you don't know about, but now I know about some things. I swish my tail behind me a few times, teasing him, but mostly I'm just relieved I didn't get caught. I hear him move, but before I can react, he's on me. He grabs my arms and shoves them up behind my back, then shoves me forward, falling on top of me on the bed. I grunt loudly as this weight pushes the air out of my lungs. Looks like I'm going to have to get it out of you the old-fashioned way, Otter. I struggle a little, but there's no way in hell I'm getting out from under Leo if he wants me to stay there. Hey, get off! He clutches both of my wrists in one paw while he digs the other into my side. I gasp and writhe desperately, bouncing up and down on the bed while he pinches at my ribs. No, please! I don't know anything! Uh-huh, sure. Now what were you looking at? He leans in harder on me and I feel his hot breath on my ear, nuzzling at it, only making me laugh and squirm harder. I don't! While I'm sure Leo is curious about what I was doing on his computer, I'm definitely sure there's another reason why he's doing this. I can feel it against my ass as he rolls around on top of me. Before I can really think about that, he lets go of my paws and the tickling stops. I only have a second of reprieve before both his paws dig up into my armpits. Practically squealing, I writhe around, managing to get on my back now that he isn't laying on top of me. It doesn't help much as he just goes right back to my armpits. I can't take it anymore. Alright, it's... I was just searching your contacts to see if you were hooking up with anyone. The tickling stops and I'm left gasping for air while Leo just looks down at me, grinning. Oh? Little jealous, huh? Maybe a little. Huh. Leo looks genuinely happy about that. His paws spread out to either side of my head as he grins down at me. I take my chance and shoot my paws up his sides, digging in. He yelps and curls up and falls on top of me again. I don't relent though, and keep wiggling my fingers around his body. Obviously he's letting me win, but it's still fun seeing him melt into a twitching pile of giggles. He rolls to the side of me and I get on top of him, pretending to wrestle him down like I'd done hundreds of times before. He playfully fights back, but he's grinning up at me with a dopey, tongue out of the muzzle expression. On a whim, I plant my knee on his crotch. I'm not sure why, probably to let him know that I knew, or maybe it was just a way to get back at him for getting off on this. He yelps again, this time a lot more loudly, and folds up, pushing me off to the side of him. Fuck! We both lay there, side by side, panting and sweating a little, my head resting on his arm. I think I won that. No way, I got you to squeal. And you cheated when you crushed my dick. Leo reaches over to me to turn on a small, complicated-looking fan on his bedside table, before flopping his other arm over his eyes. As I stare at the fan, I notice something else next to it and gasp loudly. What? Is that a fucking gun? Oh yeah. It's real? Yeah, of course. I turn my head to stare at him. Why? You just leave it out here in the open? I'd never thought of Leo as a gun person. From what he told me, he hated guns. Well, my dad has a bunch, and when he left, he gave me one for protection. Wow, do you really need it? A few people in this town, well, you know. I think I know the people he's talking about. Have you had to use it or something? I mean, it's just sitting out. Leo shifts, bouncing the bed. Let's just say some people need convincing when they're trying to cause trouble. I'm about to ask more, but Leo holds up his other paw. Not now, I'm tired. I'll tell you about it later. I go quiet, but it's hard not to stare at the gun. The concept of owning one is just so foreign to me. So what's with that fan? I change the subject. Leo looks confused, then over at the fan. Oh, it's a humidifier fan combo. I get nosebleeds a lot. Ah. I close my eyes and lay there against Leo. This is probably a bad idea, I know, but it feels good, and I'm tired. Even after the discovery I made on his computer. I guess I'm just trying not to think about that right now. The fan drones softly. Leo's arm moves under my neck, and I feel his paw come up and start brushing at the tuft of fur on my head with his thumb and index. I wish you would style this again. When I had it spiked? That was stupid. I liked it. I feel myself dozing off as his fingers start brushing my forehead. I feel the coolness of his anchor bracelet through my fur. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. I'm barely awake at this point, the fan blowing on my face. Leo's stroking, feeling his warm body next to mine. I saw you here last week, outside my window. That registers as a little weird, so I come back out of my doze a little. Oh? Yeah, I just looked out and I saw an otter, just standing there. Huh. You think it was just another otter? Well... Leo yawns and turns his head towards me, snuffling at my ear. Oh, there's only one other guy. Remember Dale? He's fat, though. Could have just been someone that was lost, right? Maybe. I went out and didn't see anyone. Well, sometimes people see things. His arm tightens around my head as he gives it a sort of hug. Hope I'm not seeing things now. I roll my eyes, but his words remind me of something. Just like a bad dream, I'll be gone when you wake. But I swear, even if this was fake, I'll never forget your face. I sing a few lyrics from one of our old emo songs, but that's when I hear Leo snore, so I give in to my pleasant drowse and sink slowly into sleep. I feel a presence in the room, and it's angry. Chase! I jolt awake, but I can't open my eyes. Chase! Finally, my eyes twitch open, but I can't move. I can only wiggle the tips of my fingers. Just try to hide. I dare you. I flinch. The voice is right in my ear. I'm still in Leo's room, still in his bed. I can vaguely make out his body out of the corner of my eye. The room, though, it's tinged red. I hear clicking and see the monitor switch on. I see myself, bent over, tail raised, naked, looking back at the camera, my face warped. Dark holes bloom over the eyes, then all over the image, like it's burning. A tarantula crawls up over the foot of the bed and starts making its way towards me. I gasp through my nose since I can't open my mouth, my heart beating so fast I think it's shaking the bed. My fingers wiggle as I try to yank myself awake, the massive spider only moving closer as it crawls over my foot and onto my leg. The weight of the spider is real. The way it's disheveling my shirt as it crawls into my stomach is real. This is real! No, it's not real. I've had this happen before. It started happening when I took the night shift at the grocery store next to campus. Very common, very normal. People have it happen all the time. I'll just close my eyes and wait it out. I do that, squeezing them shut as tight as I can, trying to find comfort in Leo's presence next to me, his arm still under my head. I feel the spider on my chest, its weight so much more than it should be, but it stops there, doesn't approach my face. But then I feel something else, another presence. It's coming from the right side wall where the window is. Something's looking through it at me, I know it. I'm not opening my eyes though. I know if I do, I'll see something that will freak me the fuck out, and the spider's bad enough. I hear tapping. Whatever it is tapping at the glass, wanting my attention. It knows I know it's there, and it wants me to see it. What the fuck? This is lasting way longer than it should be. What if I'm stuck? Am I stuck? Am I gonna be stuck in a twisted Leo's spider room dimension for the rest of my fucking life? He's mine! My eyes fly open, already pointed towards the window, bracing myself. But it's empty. The sky's tinged red from the sunset, and so is the room. My dreaming brain exaggerated it to look like the color of blood. The spider's gone, and the angry presence is, too. I sit up slowly and rub my face, feeling exhausted even though I just slept. With the humidifier blowing right in my face, I can feel the tiny droplets of water that collected on my waterproof fur. It'll be impossible to fall asleep again after that, not only because of how brutal that sleep paralysis was, but because I still don't feel right. While the spider and thing in my room were gone, the other thing outside the window, I feel like it's still there. I look out the window again and see nothing, but still, I can't shake the feeling that I'm still being watched. And on that rather ominous note, we leave off for today. Next time, we'll pick things back up, continuing further on down Leo's route on Wednesday. In terms of the VN, I don't know when I'll be uploading this. Hopefully soon. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!